Hey guys, Dirtbag Gaming here today. We're going to bring you another Raid Shadow Legends video. I opened up my raid today to see the summoning because I was just so excited about it. I didn't read anything about it online, and I'm sure you guys are just like me where you couldn't be any more disappointed. This is the summonings, this is what it looks like. I don't have any of the champions because they're all new champions. The video I made about preparing for these old school summonings just kind of went out the window. I don't even know what to say. I'm not motivated to do this summoning at all. The guy that we got, a lot of people on YouTube are saying it looks like a T-Rex or something in the small picture right here. But when you click on it, it's just a fat Draco. He's drinking way too much beer. Oh my god, I don't want this guy. Not just the look, just he's not the best summoning guy that we'd had, or the best fusion. Let's go over skills real quick just so you guys know what I'm talking about. Attacks one enemy, has 35% chance of placing a stun debuff for one turn. The chances increase by 15% for each debuff on the target. Can't use that on the clan boss. Removes all provoke debuffs and one random debuff from all allies. Places 60% increased defense for 2 turns if a buff is removed. Also places a shield buff on all allies equal to 20% of the champion's max HP, which is decent, but you have to book this guy fully out to get a 3-turn cooldown, so not going to be sure if you're going to be using this on the clan boss just for a shield and increased defense. And then his third skill is attacks all enemies, removes 1 random buff from each enemy, has a 75% chance of removing 2 random buffs from each enemy, placing 100% block heal buff for 3 turns on the enemy who has 1 or more. Also places a 60% increased defense for 2 turns on enemies who have 2 buffs removed. I just, heal reduction, like, you're not really going to be using that on clan boss at all. Defense down, you might be using if you remove some buffs. Immune to provoke debuffs, like, he's just all about the provoke, but you don't see it provoke a lot in arena that are on like fast champions that are trying to nuke you down. So this guy would have to be your fastest champion in the arena to remove the provokes. So it's not even I don't know. He's just not exactly my cup of tea. Positive note on the summoning event is these purple champions, for guys who aren't going to be doing the entire thing. You can aim to get 4 of these champions to get 1 of these epic champions, which I'm just going to show this guy right off. This guy right here, Caden, is who I'm going to be focused on. I think he looks like a Final Fantasy character. If you ask me, he's kind of like that art style. But the reason I'm getting him is this skill right here. I've been waiting so long for a revive champ for my Dark Elves, because my factions team, it just, I don't have a revive. So I'm using 2, I'm using a Kale, I'm using 2 Cold Hearts. So I'm using Kale, 2 Cold Hearts, I'm using a Crimson Helm, and I believe, yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think there's 1 more I'm using. Oh, and this guy. Yeah, so I have a 60 Painkeeper, just so I can keep them rezzed up and kind of reducing their turn meters. I do have like 6 Painkeepers, but I don't want to keep leveling up Painkeepers just for the faction crypts. So I'm going to be sacrificing probably this guy, just because he does help with the waves with the provoke. But the revive on death isn't as good as just reviving the characters completely. So I'm not sure if I'm going to take him out or just take Kale out, but he is a really hard damage dealer. So I just got to play around with that, who I'm going to take out. I'm going to be adding this guy in just for the block revives. He's going to be so tanky. His base defense is going to be 13, almost 1400, which is really high. His attacks are based off of defense, which again is a really good champion to bring you through the faction wars. So I'm not sure if I'm going to use him anywhere else besides the faction crypts, but he is going to be really good for the faction crypt. So I'm super excited about actually having a champion that can revive in my Dark Elves team, because I haven't really been able to progress without that revive champion. The Lizardmen that I do have is a very tanky team, but it has a couple revive champions. You can fuse this guy, Broadmaw, who revives 2 people and puts a block damage buff on him. Or you can just use this guy who's really good. He's a good support. He has a speed lead in the arena, so you can use him for the arena. Revives a dead ally with 30% HP and fills its animated by 30%, which is a 5 skill cooldown. You can make him really fast. He's got 105 base speed. And also he's got the boost turn meter and speed. So he's really good in the faction crypts if you don't have him, or if you do have him and you're not using them. Really good with faction crypts. And if you guys fused this guy, you just kind of bring him in, make him super unkillable, super tanky, and make this guy, who he brings back every single turn, the Skullsworn, just make him super defensive. All the ads will go against him, and if you make him really, really, really defensive, he'll die slower, but then he'll get rezzed up automatically by your legendary. So I have one of him in the matchup, or in the lead. Obviously I have my Draco, and I have Rousing. So those are 3 legendaries. My Rezzer, which is a blue, and another blue for the down. So I don't really need somebody for this, or that legendary to carry me through faction wars. But I mean, it's never bad to just fuse a free legendary if you can. And if all these were older champs, I would have been more excited to level them up and actually get them going. But I just don't see myself going through every single tournament and things to try and get this guy. It's just not my cup of tea. This guy, a lot of people are talking about him being able to do a lot of damage. We don't know. Nobody has him yet. But once I saw this guy, it instantly reminded me of Gladiator. Right? Like the guy he faces in Gladiator, the guy who gets comes back from retirement. 100%, if you guys see it, you'll never not see it now. But he's the guy from Gladiator. 100%. Maybe that's how they copied him. He got the axes and everything. Yep. Boots. Yep. Guy from Gladiator. He might hit hard. He might not. Who the hell knows? But this is somebody you might be able to want to get into your team. I'm strictly going for this guy. This is going to be my aiming for this this fusion. So a couple tips. You want to see which ones are you're going to be needing for your fusion. So if you're going to be going for this guy I think is the one going on right now. How you figure that out is you go to this tab right here, click on the news. That's not the news. Click on the news. Go right here, new fusion, new champion, and this goes over exactly what tournaments and events you're going to be needing for those specific champions. So I want Caden. So the first event is going on right now, is going to be October 5th to the 8th, which I'm already doing the Dungeon Divers event. So I did spiders all morning. I clicked my 30 runs, got all my my gear. Dragon tournament, which I know I can hopefully complete because Dragon's pretty easy. Available champion training event. So I have a ton of champions that I need to level up and fuse. I have a whole bunch of 4-stars, so hopefully that'll be a pretty easy event. That's 10 days, so hopefully I'll get that one. And another Dungeon Divers event 3. So on October 13th to the 18th, I should be able to, again, just do the Dungeon Divers. So this one shouldn't be too hard to complete. If you guys are going for Caden, that should be easy. Here's the other champs, same exact goal, is to figure out which champs you really want to go for. If it's all of them, every single event that comes up you have to do. Because, again, we don't have any of them. I have almost 100 Ancients, which I'm going to do a video once we get the 2x Ancient events. But right now, I'm not even going to waste them for this fusion. It's just not exciting, not super, enthusiastic about leveling up all these blues. But I will for that Caden because I'm super excited about the fashion crypts that I can finally, hopefully, complete. But if you guys notice that this game is no more laggy, I'm pumped about that. I've been talking to PLARIUM all morning, getting the PLARIUM play set up with my my account. I just couldn't connect the two, but I finally did. So I got rid of BlueStacks. That was super laggy, super slow. This PLARIUM play is super fast. So I highly suggest downloading PLARIUM play and getting it connected to your account. But if there's any other questions, leave some comments if you guys are fusing it. Like the video if this helped out by planning on if you're going to fuse this guy or not. Subscribe to the channel because there's going to be a lot more videos coming up soon. Guys, I appreciate the time. Have a good day and enjoy the rest of your week.